Greetings, welcome back to a cup of conversation and food for thought with me, Nidra Simmons. I am coming on to start off by saying I do not own the rights to the music. The music is just playing in the background. Um, this is content. This content is for entertainment purposes only. So please receive it that way. If there's any commercials or anything like that that's coming on in the background, I do not own the rights to that either. So please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining my live this morning. Good morning to you all. As always, I come on. I'm going to pause this for a second because I want to listen to this song. I'm going to listen to it in a second because I think it's related to the conversation. But anyway, this is a cup of conversation, food for thought. Thank you for coming on to the live. As always, I come on and give honor and glory to Mother, Father, God, Universe. God, less of me, more of you. Use me as your vessel to come on and speak to your people, to be able to encourage, uplift, to allow people to see things possibly in a different light. But thank you, God, for waking us up this morning and providing for us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in every way possible. Continue to keep us, bless us. I repent of all my sins, asking for forgiveness, and continue to put me in the right direction to where I can be corrected to do the right thing, keep me in the right place at the right time with the right people. I pray for all of the viewers out there that are watching, that you watch over them and keep them, dear Heavenly Father. Continue to bless my children and keep them safe. Keep all of us covered under the blood, those that are for you under the blood, protected by the blood, fully dressed one, a full armor of God, the helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith, sword of God's holy word, but the truth and shoes of peace. Thank you, God, for always being there for us. I pray for safe traveling mercies for those who are traveling to and from their destinations this morning. Just continue to have your way in our life. These blessings I pray in your holy name. Giving much gratitude and respect to our big brother Jesus, archangels, guardian angels, all angels in the highest, Christ light, ancestors, guardian ancestors, spirit team here and far. Thank you for all that you do. Now I'm going to go ahead and play the song back again. Thank you all again for joining the live. All I ask is that you can contribute to the conversation if it's helpful to you, and to be respectful, because I'll be respectful back to you. I'm coming out of love. I'm doing this to encourage, uplift, and to help bring people out of whatever they're in, and just to have a cup of conversation early in the morning. And sorry, I look mighty greasy this morning, but it is what it is. I'm just shining today. Consider me a shining star today, okay? But I am continuing on a conversation with relationships. That's the umbrella we're going to fall under. But today I'm going to focus on some healthy habits to maintain and to have within a relationship. Some of this is personal experiences. Some of this stuff is what I found on the internet. I looked at different types of things on the internet because I was curious to see what people were saying. I realized, my relationship and the way that I handle things way different than the way other people handle things, and vice versa. So I was just curious to see what the people out there were saying. One second, let me grab something to drink. All right. But yeah, that song that was came on and said, "I'm not your daddy, I'm your man. I'm not your mama, I'm your girl." So I thought that was very interesting to the topic that we were talking on. So that was kind of it called my attention. But just to touch on some healthy habits that I came up with. Well, I didn't come up with that. I searched, and things that I agree with and things that I don't agree with. You can always feel free to share with me what you can add or take away or whatever the case might be for it. But the first one they said was to check in. And checking in can be with yourself and checking in with your partner. You have to be the best you. And I always tell people you can't take care of others until you take care of yourself. You really can't love others until you know how to love yourself. Um, Peace be with you, and may God guard your tongue for your protection. But giving much respect. But the first thing you should do is check in. Check into Happy Friday to you. Thank you for joining the live. Check in with yourself and check in with others. The person that just made that comment need to check in with herself before you start calling names for other people. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you. Like I said, you can't teach people how to treat you until you learn how to treat yourself. You can go ahead and do it, but are you authentic? Are you really giving the person the true you? Are you really receiving what it is that you honestly know, because you're still learning yourself? So check in. The next thing is fight fair. Relationships are going to have arguments, whether you like it or not. You're going to argue. Um, Good morning to you. Thank you for joining my live. Um, I like to see familiar faces come on. That makes me feel good. I got people that's looking forward to us coming on to hear what I got to say. So thank you for coming on to the live. Much appreciation. Um, but yeah, fight fair, because you can't escape arguments within a relationship. I hear people saying that they can't be involved with such and such type of women or such and such type of men because all they do is argue. Well, you can't ignore arguments, because you're two different people. You're going to have different things. Hello. How come I didn't get a notification when you came on? I don't know. I'll go back and check that out. But thank you for joining the live. And my heart goes out to you. You had a serious, some serious things you went through. I'm talking to, was it Butchie? Um, Thank you for joining live. All of you that come on, I'm not excluding anyone. But he shared his story with me, and I was like, wow, my mouth was drawn down to the floor. Oh wow. Well, I'm glad that you are surviving and you're here, because you are a survivor. You went through a whole lot. And I mean, and I don't condone any, negative things or bad things, but see, I know that we all go through things. We all have a story. We all have a testimony. Goes through things, argues, and everybody goes through arguments and things. You can't exclude it, but how you take care, how you go through it, and how you handle it makes the difference of everything. You know, I always say you can't fight fire with fire. You have to be able to, somebody has to be calm in that relationship. We have one son together, and when I talk to her, sounds like she hates. Well, I always say we can't control other people, and I know that sometimes absence can play a big role in people. Anything about it, it didn't do anything wrong. She did all wrong. Well, some people are struggling and fighting things within themselves. I'm not the type of person to bash anybody, but if and I do agree that wrong is wrong, right is right. But there's a reason why people do wrong. It just don't just happen like that. There's a series of things that people do and don't overcome that makes them a big bag of anger. And is it, maybe she might need counseling for herself. But you really can't control what somebody else do and how they feel. What you can do is just focus on you. And like I was saying, you can be that example that maybe she hasn't seen of how a person should be. That went by fast. Hold on, what I say? And then me and mine both argue about money, living situation, finances. Well, money can play a big part in arguing. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes that's what you have to do. I was starting to say before that absence can play a part in people's lives. How you all doing? Thank you for joining my live. Um, sometimes people don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. And you have a blessed day too. Some people don't realize how good they had it until it's gone. Um, well, see, that's karma. That's why I don't fight my battles. I pick and choose my battles. I believe God fight my battles for me and my spirit team. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining the live. And that's what people think. People can paint a picture about the grass being better on the other side. Once, if you left me to go to the other side because the grass was greener, stay over there. Don't come back and dirty my grass. My grass is flowing. Yeah, well, you have to love yourself and know to know when enough is enough. Because people don't know, and some people might just know abuse and how to just constantly abuse people because of what they were upbringing and what they were taught and how they were. So I don't really, I can't really, I don't judge, period. So I can't say I really don't judge. I just don't judge because everybody is different. Everybody has gone through their own set of things in their life. And what I think is normal, some people might not think is normal, and vice versa. That's probably insecurities. Maybe somebody was done something wrong at a very early age that confused them and messed with their emotions, and nobody was there to tell them how they feel. It could be a number of reasons on why women do or men do what they do. So the best, that's communication is important. You need to find out about people and use your discernment and your intuition to see whether or not is that something you want to get involved in. Is it too heavy for you? Sometimes if it's too much for you, you have to step away, and they need to seek proper attention and proper help to help who they are. We got a lot of people in this world, and when I come on and I talk about it, a lot of people have a lot of things that happened to them when they were young and never dealt with the emotion part of it, never dealt with anything about it, and just had that stuck with them all their lives. And nobody explained to them what they were feeling. Nobody explained to them that possibly it wasn't your fault. Nobody explained to them how they are loved or you're appreciated, you're important. They didn't have this stuff. And then once they go through life and they well in their 50s and 60s, and there's something that they do trigger them. And sometimes the trigger can be detrimental depending on what it was that they went through. So it all depends on the person. And communication is key. You got to find out about the people you're getting involved with. You can't just go jump in and sleep with somebody and call it a day. You don't know what you're bringing to the table. But this conversation went way out to where it was supposed to go, but that's okay. That's what this is, a cup of conversation and food for thought to help people, to give you a different understanding, but it mainly to encourage, uplift, and realize that, we go through things and nothing's wrong with us per se. It's just we got to go through things and get over it. Well, you don't know me. It took 6 months for her to. Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that. No, I don't know you. That's what I'm saying. I clearly come on and say I don't know the search. I don't know your circumstance per se. I can just explain to you on why things are, and maybe if you look at the bigger picture, that can also give you an idea of why things are. I'm never saying that I know you. Trust me, I don't know you from a can of paint. I only know what you tell me, and that's all I will know because I don't know you. Oh, okay, got you. Good morning. Thank you for the live. Thank you. See, texting and words can turn things around because you don't hear the voice. So that's why I like the communication part of it versus the text, but it's all good. Blessings, sweet blessings to you too. Thank you. About to say the whole thing out, but blessings to you too. Thank you. Thank you for joining the live. Oh, okay. Okay, I can say that too. I don't know why I didn't allow, maybe because you sent me a book. But no, I thank you for sharing all that information with me. Um, um, but yeah, for those that are just coming on, I am still talking about relationships. For some reason, it flows, and I'm gonna stick with it until it's time to change the subject. But we're talking about healthy relationship habits, and we started talking about checking in with yourself, checking in with your partner, and then we talked about how there's arguments and stuff that take place in a relationship. I am not married. I am a widow. Okay. Um, but beside the point, is, and I'm sharing that with you because I want people to understand that I have some background. I had somebody that tell me that argued with me because they said, what kind of degrees you have? And I gave them examples of the degrees that I have. And then they said they didn't believe me. Okay, that's your opinion. But what does a degree have to do with a relationship? A relationship is not a degree. Someone else had to point that out for me. I didn't see it at that time. So when I give different things about me, if I answer certain questions, it's to let you know that I have some kind of background, some history. Well, thank you for the compliment. Well, thank you. Unfortunately, some brothers don't appreciate a woman like me in their life, but it's okay. It's all good because I've learned to love me. I've learned to check in with me. I've learned to understand who I am. I've learned to understand what I carry. I've learned to understand my values, and I've learned to set healthy boundaries in place. Thank you. Some people don't appreciate honesty. Some people don't appreciate women speaking back. They just want to be able to give the order and have the woman listen, and that's it. And some women are waiting now and need to talk. Some, I said some. We're in the world of a whole bunch of different types of personalities, backgrounds, and thank you for the gifts. Much appreciated. But I am here focusing on doing what I feel God wants me to do, and I'm going to move forward into that direction. And no matter what my personal status is or what I'm feeling, I'm not going to let that show because I feel like I have a bigger purpose to move forward. And I'm glad you didn't. Don't let the cares of this world or other people make you do something that you will regret. I always tell people you don't know what the future holds. You don't know what God has down the line. God knows, but you don't know. And we go through things in life just to make us stronger and to prepare for us what to go through down the line. You might meet somebody that you might have to help, that you might be involved with, that you can grow together with because they may have something for you to help you grow. You have something for them to help them grow. And together, y'all work together to flow. And y'all walk down that path together, getting stronger and rising to the top. So you should not cut your life short. God can cut your life short because God has reasons for you. But us, we don't do that. We don't have that much. We don't have that right. This body that we live in is a blessing. It's a gift from God. Do you know how many people that want to be here and live in this world? Despite the things or the choices that we make. There's plenty hope for you. There's plenty hope for you. I believe God has somebody for someone. Somebody send you blessings, buddy. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement for the others too. That's what it's all about. We're here to encourage one another. We all gone through things, and we all need to, you know, have support and understand that we're not alone. We may not be with the person the way that we might mentally see, but that to be with that person. But God put people in your life at the right place, at the right time, at the right moment. God's intentional. So when we have this opportunity to come and talk to other people and let them come out and speak, a lot of people don't have no one to talk to. I was one that didn't have a lot of nobody to talk to, so I had to go through life, alone. On some cases, I didn't have the physical bodies here, but that didn't stop me. I knew that I serve a God that's great, and if God is for me, who can be against me? Okay, is it nice out there? I'm in a town that has nothing, nothing. But I thank God that I exist. I have a purpose. So even though I'm in a small town, I have a purpose. But to go back on the list, we talked about check-ins, fighting fair. There's this thing called 5-in-1 ratio, which means every one negative thing that you receive, you counterpart that or you cover that with 5 positives. None of us is perfect, but if somebody says something to you or in a relationship that may hurt your feelings, come up with 5 positives. And if you have to use those 5 positives to say about yourself to keep yourself in line and not to go off the handle, use that. Or if you want to find 5 positive things about your partner, your mate, use that. But make it 5 positive things versus 1 negative. So every 1 negative thing, 5 positive. Example, if I'm going to reflect to myself, if I reflect back to a situation in one of my, well, in my relationship, my marriage, when I was married, um, and if I don't know, if my husband said something to me that hurt my feelings, I would look at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what? I'm beautiful. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I'm resilient. Beautiful, smart, intelligent, resilient, and I got a good sense of humor. 5 positive things to outweigh that 1 negative thing. Okay. Okay. I am small, 5'4", short rather. Just retired from public safety. Okay. But you know, like I was saying, find something, find five positive, and even if it's not about you and you're in a relationship and somebody says something to you about, let's say, someone came on there and said that they argue usually about money. Um, thank you. Somebody came on there and said they argue about money or whatever the things. You can say, okay, if they say, you know what? Okay, say the person is in between work and you're working. So the male is not working, the female is working. And uh, the female said to you, you need to go out and get a job. You're worthless. That's not something you should say, but if she did say that, then he can come back and say, well, you know what? Worthless or not, you still here with me. Something about me you find attractive. You got some, name five things that you can counterpart with the fact that she said something negative versus that one negative. There's five reasons that she's still there with you, and come with those five reasons. And then that can, elevate, and you can say it out loud to the person. Communication is important. Maybe that person was sitting and said, oh, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. My bad. You're right. So use that 5-to-1 ratio, and I'm probably using it in a different text. If you find another way that's useful for you to use that, then feel free to use whatever you want. But I was just giving examples to how you can counterplate it, or make it work in your favor, so that the situation is diffused, and you can even bring humor in it. Depending on the atmosphere. Now, if you got somebody that's steaming hot and the humor is just going to add fuel to the fire, don't do that. Another one is maintenance of personal space. Understanding that you cannot be up under your mate 24/7. I shared yesterday that sometimes, if you are even if the roles are vice versa, if the man is staying home and the woman is working, it happens, it exists. I was one that was part of that ratio, or what do you call it? Population. You could, if you work all day, you come home, allow that person that's working to come home and spend at least 15 minutes to just get themselves unwind, take their book bags or jacket and coat and pocketbook, whatever, off, and just go and just unwind for a second. Just, you have time to unwind. And I always say leave work at work. So when you're traveling and you're on your way home, that's when you should be diffusing yourself so you can be able to walk through the door without any arguments. Thank you, and good day to you. So give that person space and time to just relax. So while they're relaxing and you're home, you can be either, preparing their meal. If you cooked, it is in the microwave, reheat it up and put it on the table for them to be able to eat it. You could be taking out pajamas or something like that for them to get put on so they can go in the shower and get themselves situated to come back into to present themselves to you and to eat. So you can do something in the process, but allow them to have that space to unwind, to get their thoughts together so they don't lash out at you, because at that point, you don't know what kind of day they had. I see your question, but let me finish my point. And thank you for agreeing with me. But so you want to make sure that you have that space. And even if you're home on a weekend, you work all weekend, and the weekend people just need to just relax. Go back to doing basics. So if you know that your mate loves to get up in the morning and pray and to read the word and to meditate, give them time to do that. Don't do anything loud in the background to distract them and to make it impossible for them to focus. You give them that space so they can do what they have to do. And if you're someone that do it at night, give them that space and time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because people need to realize who they are, come back to self, and be able to meditate and spend time with self and God. I'm a big fan of that. Meditate and spend time with yourself and with God. And that way you can get yourself right for your mate, because God is in the midst of that. But but yeah, so maintain a space for your mate is important. And I haven't been in this situation, but I've heard people that talk in the background. But I hear people say that they're married for so long that they take separate trips. They got trips that the girls go with the girls, the boys go with their boys, and then they have trips where they go together with the family, and they have trips where they go together with just the two individuals that's together. I haven't experienced that, but if that works for you, then do it. Whatever whatever works for you, and as far as you getting your space, so that you can regroup and get yourself back right. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. But you have to appreciate each person's space, because even if y'all both are working, allow time for when y'all both come home. Because I'm telling you, when you working out here in this real world, yeah, healthy boundaries is important. You don't know what the other person is going through until you tell them. And if you're a type of person that have a real hectic job and you constantly got to go things, your mate is hearing all of that. And sometimes they got to be prepared to hear that stuff, because their mood can be calm and relaxed and where it should be, and yours all over the place and angry. You got to just vent and get it out. So you got to be able to have space for each other, so that way when you come together, you're not interfering the mood that it took them all day to get to, and then you're not going to get upset with the person because you feel they're not listening to you. You got to be mindful of each other and be respectful of each other. You have to show compassion with each other. You know what I'm saying? So that was another one. And the last one for this list, because I looked at several ones because I was curious to see what other people were saying. They said to the repair. How do you wrap it up? How do you finalize the day or your healthy habits? What is it that you do to put the icing on the cake? Do you just apologize for whatever reason, whatever the case might be, or do you repair it by the different types of characteristics of love, affection? Do you give the person a hug to help them diffuse all the way down to where they melt into your arms, to where all the stress of the day is gone, and now it's just 100% focus time of you two and the space that you have? Do you give the kiss on the forehead? Do you what is it that you do to put the icing on a cake, to lock it up, so that when everything is all said and done, this is a healthy habit that is going to work? What is your boo thing that you do for your boo to make them be like, melt like butter? Okay, all right, you have me at hello, or something along those lines. That probably was cheesy, but something along those lines. Okay. So that was from one site that I looked, well, one same site, but that was one topic of one area. And then I looked at another area. I looked at a lot of them, y'all. And one area said for healthy habits in a relationship, and this can flow for any kind of relationship. And this made a lot of sense. I think communication is key. I am a big fan of communication. And I'm saying this now because I dealt with a marriage that didn't have communication as key. It was eye signals in the beginning. It was looks, and it was just, I felt like I was that picture on the mount where you had to do those. You got the glove. You got to do those, whatever those signals they do for that. So they know what kind of throw they're going to do for in baseball. Did I say that right? Yeah, baseball. So communication is key. Trying to read signals and try to do this and do no, just straight out tell me what it is that you want to say. What is it that you're feeling? What is it about me that you got a problem with? I'm gonna tell you what it is I got a problem with about you. So let's be able to be able to handle what we got to say about each other, and understand that, look, I am who I am, you are who you are. We're two individual people. Again, if anybody is promoting anything on the live, I'm not affiliated with it. You come on my live, you're talking to me, that is what I'm affiliated with. Anything else that goes to that, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not a part of it. What does it say? One of the persons never want to talk about, have a conversation, and keep their life private. Well, then that's a red flag right there. If someone can't be honest with you and tell you about who they are, and you're being honest about them, that can mean two things. They're not interested in you for the reason that you're interested in them for. They have possibly a hidden agenda, and they're getting information that's going to work in their favor that can be in your demise. Or the person just don't know how to communicate. And if within time, that's when you got to start setting these healthy boundaries. That's the type. What is a person never want to share and always quiet and never tells you? Well, that's someone that's sheltered in and maybe don't know how to talk. That is someone that might need some additional personal help outside of the relationship so that she can be able to unwind and talk about things that happen in her life. Or what if the person never shares their personal life and you always is quiet and never talk? Well, I'm going to tell you something based off of my personal experience, and I am very transparent. There was a point in my youth life when I was younger, and I would not talk. I dated this guy, and the guy thought I was mute. Something was wrong with me because we can be very intimate with one another, but then when it came time for talking, I didn't know what to say. And the reason why I didn't say anything is because the person would seem nice one minute, but then would get real angry the next minute. And I'm confused. I'm like, what in the world is going on? If I say something, is it going to make the person more mad? Or if I say something, is it going to want the person to stop talking to me? You know what I'm saying? That was an insecurity that I had within myself. I didn't know how to explain it to the person because I was young and I didn't have no one to pull it out of me. And the way that that person was talking to me definitely was not how I want to pull it out, because it was, the person was like very nice and wanting to be around one minute, and then at the drop of the dime it's snapping. It's like da-da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm like, what the heck? So I just sit there and be like, mm, 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 mm. So they thought something was wrong. He thought something was wrong with me, but nothing was wrong with me. I just didn't know how to speak to get that person to stay that same nice person. I know what caused them to be nice. It was the intimacy. They was loving during the intimacy part, but when it came to the conversation, communication part, it was like two different people. So I didn't talk. So I'm sharing that with you to give you another viewpoint to understand from maybe the female point of view, that maybe it wasn't shared because she didn't feel like it will make the situation better. It would probably make the situation worse. And I know, and I don't know this particular person, and I'm not claiming to know this particular person, but I am a female who's been through a lot of stuff. I may not look like what I went through, but trust me, I've been through some stuff. Okay. And I can give you another way of looking at the situation. Well, go with your judgment. I sure did made it out, and I give honor and glory to God. Um, Trust your discernment in your gut, because if you was feeling all that way before, now you know why, because you went through all that stuff and you came out of that. I'm an open book and told a whole life story. She did not. Yeah, and you're two different people. You're able to do that. This person maybe didn't. Maybe she was, or maybe this person is or felt at that time very low, insecure. This person was probably very insecure, and when she was told, but she used to tell her stories, maybe they looked at her as being somebody real negative, maybe somebody, back in the days. And even I had to have a conversation with another person when guys call girls bitchs. That they say, well, that's a slang, that's how we talk. That's how you talk, but that's not how the woman want to be perceived. Not all of them. You got some that are freely say that word and just say whatever. But some people don't want to be called that. They don't want to be looked. They don't want to be looked like that. But they've been taken advantage of so much that their self-esteem is so low that it's a bad thing. So whatever they feel that they want to tell you, they already feel bad about it themselves. It's just they think you're going to feel the same way. She was in the beginning. I felt like she was keeping something from. Okay. Well, you live and you learn. You realize she was. But that's not to say that she might not need help. People cry out for help and don't know how to. Like for example, um, there's this, what people used to take advantage of older people, used to take younger people, and if they take something, the innocence from a female or a person, male too, because both male and female can have their innocence taken away from somebody who just don't know how to be just take it. The one that do the wrong things. Hello, how you doing? They may tell them, if you tell somebody, um, then they're going to unalive somebody in your family if you tell the truth about what they do to you. So a lot of people build fear into people, just like this world, it builds fear into people. And then based off that fear and the level of fear and what you believe, you try not to do anything to make anything bad happen to your family. Some people can be serious about that stuff and some people not. They just say it to put fear. And some people are actually going to do something like that, but you don't know. So your best bet is just to be quiet and don't say nothing. So I agree. You should treat people with respect and not take advantage of people. But, we're living in a world that is just crazy. How you doing? Thank you for joining the live. I was in the middle of talking. Glad to see you on the live. All of you. But okay, so the other list that I found out, I looked on that had some healthy relationship habits was communication. Communication is key. Thank you for the compliments. Communication is key. Clarity. Being aware and understanding the conversation, each other. You can talk all day long, but if you don't understand what the other person is saying, what is the purpose of the communication? It just becomes one way. The person just run their mouth. It ain't going into the other person's ear. They're not receiving what you're saying. So make sure with the communication, there's clarity. You got some type of understanding and insight that y'all both are on the same page. My grandmother used to always say, be on one accord. You got to be on one accord. So communication, you need to make sure that your communication is on one accord by the clarity, understanding what y'all are saying. And then the last thing they had on this list was connection. Connection is important. Usually you can feel that connection before the communication, but you still need communication. And connection ties in communication and clarity. That connection is understanding that y'all can communicate and y'all understand what you're saying to each other. That brings that connection closer, and then you guys can flow in the direction that you need to. And that's something healthy to have in your relationship, any kind of relationship. Okay, then I went and I looked on something else. And another thing, another list said you have to have the art of repair. You have to have first of all, you want to repair the relationship. If you don't want the relationship to get any further and you feel like you don't want to, and you just stayed in there because you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, be honest with that other person because they might be feeling the same way and y'all just wasting time and space with each other. So be honest with each other. If you're feeling it, let them know that you're feeling it. If the other person is not, let them know you're not feeling it, and then talk about it. You got people that bring baggage from past relationships into your current relationships because they are in fear of the same thing happening to them again. And if you don't have that communication, conversation, and connection, that may be a problem. So you need to. Relationships are intentional. Relationships are right here and right now. It's not a flyby thing. It's not a job interview. It's a relationship. It's you spending time with that person for a duration. I mean, I would hope that you be getting to a relationship thinking long term. A lot of people. Oh, that went by fast. A lot of people don't communicate even though you do. So it's hard to figure them out. Well, then don't try to figure them out. Just know what you know. Well, enjoy being single. You know, I'm not knocking anyone who wants to be single. You know, the single life can be for some people, and some people want to be in relationships. Some people just used to being in relationships. To each his own. And thank you for sharing. It ain't for me. Well, you know what? You say that now. It may change later. And if it doesn't, still be happy with you. That's all that matters. Is you against you in the world anyway. It's the peace. Not having to think about somebody else, just thinking about yourself and moving when you want to move at your own pace. People can appreciate that. And people want to have somebody around. And to each his own. Love them and leave them. Okay, another one from the list is emotional self-regulation. You really have to check in with self. Other people can drive you crazy. Other people can put their insecurities and their disbeliefs and things on you. So you need to go back and do an emotional self-check. Wait a minute, self-check. Wait a minute, is that me or is that them? Because I don't remember feeling that way when I came. Because some people got the gift of gab and got that influence to where they can just come to you and change the subject or change, especially if they know that they got something over you. Like, for example, I'm brought back to the Cosby Show, and I know it was just a show, but the way that the Huxtables relayed this, and this song brought that to my memory too. The way that they reflect and portray the love for one each other, they got that teasing type of connection. So all they had to do was look at each other for a certain way, and then they knew what time it was. So they had that influence over each other, and then they can use that influence to change and put their personal thing on the other person. Okay. But thank you for sharing. But some people, you just make sure that you self-regulate. Make sure you check it and know that this is me and this is that person. This is my emotion, that's that person. Because I don't feel this way. You'll know inside how you feel. And people can just sit there and tell you how to feel. Let me give an example. I have been connecting with people, right? Talking and sharing different things. And people will come and say to me, you love me, or don't you love me, or you love, they'll put stuff on and force you to say things. Now they see that you may look like you are naive, or may look like they can win one over on you by saying things. But if I don't know you, you can't sit there and tell me I love you. What do I love about you? I don't even know you from a can of paint. If we had one or two conversations and your feelings might be stronger towards me than my feelings towards you, then I can tell you what you want to hear, but don't get mad if I don't feel the same way. I mean, for some reason, and maybe it's just people that I've seen in my passing, but the guys that try to approach you that come off real strong, in my mind, is showing off insecurities behind the scene. They're putting on, and this is my own personal opinion. Please don't say that I'm saying this about everybody. Only the people that I come in path with, and I've not been around a lot of people. They'll come off real strong. Some of you minds, and we go together, and don't be short off my stuff. And y'all ain't never had no face-to-face conversation. How you gonna sit there and tell me that I love you? And that may have worked with somebody else that's simple-minded. It's not gonna work with me. I don't know you. I've talked to you or text you, not even talked to you, text you a couple of times on the internet, and then all of a sudden, I'm in love with you. What am I in love with? I don't know you. So it seems to me when people come on that strong on people, they're hiding something. There's some insecurities behind that they're trying to overshadow so that that person can't see what's really going on. I can see it in my case. So if people come on too strong with me, I'm like, what are you hiding? What are you trying to overshadow so that I can't see the true you? That's why I always say, be honest with whoever you with. Let them judge your true you. Anyone that wants to be with me, you got to be honest, because I want to know. I want you to be who you are for real. I want you comfortable around me. Don't put no mask on or none of that stuff. Let me know who you are for real so that I know what I'm dealing with, if I choose to be with this or not. And I'm just saying this as a statement. This can reflect for anybody. I'm not saying this because of any personal thing. This is just a broad conversation. I'm putting out examples so that you can get an understanding of what I'm feeling. So, and maybe this can help somebody. If you are somebody that comes on real strong and then you start telling the person how they feel, you can only tell how you feel. You can't tell the other person how they feel. That would turn you into their father, and now you are here to the child trying to tell the child what to do. You can only talk about how you feel. Let the person come out and tell you how they feel. If they don't tell you that they feel that way, then they don't feel that way. And you can't get upset if they don't respond. I mean, look, even on these lives, people can text on here, do you love me? I don't know you. So how can you really get me answer and then get mad if I don't respond? Do you see my question? You didn't answer my question. Do you see what I'm saying? And then blow the line with the same thing over and over again. Either you're trying to be a distraction, but that's not going to win over some people. I mean, I don't. Maybe that's just how it is now. I've been married for what, 18 years with my husband for 22 years before he passed. So life could have took a big change and turn from what I thought how things should be. But you know, self-regulate. Know that you are who you are. Chemistry is so important. There's nothing like being able to feel your love is vibe. Yeah, chemistry is important, and that's like a vibe. You'll feel that, within the first couple of conversations that you have. Or like they say, you have me at hello. That's a cheesy line, but it's been floating in my head all day, all morning. But yeah, self-regulate and active responses. Speak back. Have an active conversation with each other. Don't just let one person talk and you just nod your head and shake. You have to be open to speak with your partner. You got to be open to have that conversation. The good conversations and the bad conversations. Just like I tell you, always deal with your emotions and your feelings. Don't run from them. Don't hide from them. People don't like to deal with the bad emotions and feelings. You have to deal with those bad emotions and feelings and get through it. It's not going to get lighter or stop stinging until you get through it. Well, how I was doing that just to keep the war out of the house. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Well, you are so cute when you smile and talk with your hands tight. I don't know why I talk with my hands. And I guess is another way for just, I don't know. Good day to you. Thank you for joining the live. You do too? Yeah. And I thank you. Good day. Good day. But you have that guitar. You can put that guitar and you can move your fingers. That's probably why you move your hands like that, because you're used to your guitar. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't done the ancestry. I'm 49. I have not done any ancestry checkings on my backgrounds. I just know what my grandmother have told me that they are. Do I look that age? Ask me my age. Do I look that old? Do I sound that old? 80s music is good. Oh, okay. He said nope. Well, thank you. Let me go down this last list because I wrote a lot of stuff. The last one for that one is active response, which I said you have to communicate. 35. Okay. All right. 41. Oh, I look 35. You're 41. Gotcha. I thought you were saying you're 35. I look 35. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, you got another year coming up. You just turned. Okay. Age is just a number. And you're right. Age is just a number because good morning. Thank you for joining us live. Age is just a number. For those who are just joining on, I am on a conversation about blessings to you too, talking about relationships. And this past 3 days has been talking about relationships. And today is talking about healthy relationship habits. Does spirit connect? Does who spirit connect? That came in out of the blue. Sorry. So we talked about some healthy habits. I'm about to go down my last list because we're at 49 minutes. So let me see if I can squeeze this in. Trust, respect, empathy, communication, compromise, quality time. Those things are some healthy habits you need to have in a relationship. That's a good question. Should you only date women who love the Lord? That's your preference. I mean, that's up to you. I don't know. Like-minded people connecting. Like, yeah, I appreciate it. Like-minded people connect. Should you only I don't know. Because you got people that truly believe in the Lord and you have people that hide behind the Lord. So I don't know. It's your preference. It's your intuition and your discernment. Whatever you feel, you go on that. Stop ignoring your intuition and stop ignoring your discernment. It's there for a reason. It can save you a whole lot of heartache. But now you have a testimony on how you can relate to that because you got something to back it up. But yeah, we're at 50 minutes. Yesterday I was able to stay on for like 57 minutes, but I'm not going to test it. So you know what? This is another conversation to be continued. We'll have this conversation again tomorrow. This has been a cup of conversation and food for thought with me, Nidra Simmons. I really appreciate the feedback and the back and forth. I thank you all for being respectful. That is a wonderful thing to see. Probably one came on there and said something negative, but that's all right. But anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Have a happy, oh yeah, that's right. It's Friday. Have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your day. Time flies when you're having fun, right? But remember, God loves you. I love you. You love you. Till next time, have a wonderful day. Peace. That was cool. Peace.